Hey guys, Mark here with Copper State Handyman Services. Going to be doing a dryer door swap for a client. They just got some brand new dryers and they don't want to have to load the clothes from the washer into the dryer over the door. These are the dryers, little example. I've already done one. Washers are gonna go here. They don't wanna have to load over. So they want us to flip the doors, which I've already done. So then they can just open up, put your clothes in and go. Pretty simple process. There are a couple steps. I did forget my safety glasses. I highly preach eye safety and any PPE on any equipment that you're gonna be working on when you're prying, screwing, do any of that. Today I just have my Ray-Bans. It's better than nothing, but let's go. What I wanna do is obviously open the door. You're gonna pry this off and this off first. Okay, these come right off. You're gonna wanna save those. So just put those to the side. Okay, then you're gonna want to, I like to use a little socket bit. Obviously, you can use a Phillips, but this is just a little 5/16. I like to use it just because it fits on there nice and snug and I don't have to worry about any stripping. Okay. Today I'm using my Milwaukee Impact. You can honestly use anything. So I'm holding the phone here, so if you see bolts and stuff drop, it is what it is. It's not ideal. You don't really have to worry though, because there's a screw that's inside here that sits inside this hole and drops down. So it is locked in, but you still want to be careful because you never know. Alright. Okay, so these screws are all going to come out. You just pick up on the door. Door is off. Okay, one last step. You end up prying this one off. Get in there. Get it. Don't be scared. You're not going to... I mean, you can break it, obviously. It's plastic, so you want to have some sort of little delicacy there. Just always set those to the side. And then since you're here, you're going to take this little latch. It's the locking latch. That is a Phillips bit. Put that on your drill. Obviously, you'll just take that out. Okay. Slip that onto the other side. So as you can see, it's literally identical on each side. You're gonna take that latch, just move it over here. All right. So you end up screwing that in and that will be a secured piece. Get that in there. And then you'll put the other screw, 2 screws, real simple, no electrical components here, pretty simple. Honestly, anybody can get this done, okay? Don't be intimidated. Don't over tighten those. So we're gonna go out into the living room. I got a blanket set up on a table and I'll show you that here in a minute. All right, I'm back. Got everything set up. Just need my drill, and here it is. So you're literally just gonna go around, take out all these screws. Don't worry about it. There is no electrical components that you need to worry about. So we're just gonna go through. All these screws are exactly the same, except for the door locking pin. Okay, it's pretty obvious what that screws are going to look like, but I still like to keep my screws in order. And if I was doing an extravagant door, which I've done some dryer doors where they have all kinds of different size screws, you don't know what's going what, you're going to need to make some sort of nameplate for each screw, where it goes, a lot of documentation. I promise you, you'll appreciate that you took that time to do it. If you don't, there's a chance you're not going to remember how those screws go back. I've done it. I've learned the hard way. Okay, so that's the door. Okay, all screws are taken out. Now what you're going to want to do is, I like to stand it up. I'm just going to prop my phone here. Forgot my tripod. So I'm just going to give you a little demonstration. Okay, so this door is held in by a couple, lock and groove type of construction. You're just going to go around. The door, apply a little bit of pressure. Don't snap it. Don't go He-Man style on the darn thing. We're not trying to break it. We're trying to get it done. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. So pretty much you're going to have a clip that sits down into here. It's plastic molded on to the door front, so you don't have to worry about that coming off or whatever. Okay, so you just go around, kind of just pry up a little bit. Take your time. We don't want to break this. You break this, and it's not going to be a fun day. Promise you that. Okay, so glass, set that to the side. Set this to the side. Okay, so this is the door. I'm going to put it back together real quick so you can see it on how this looks when you take this door off. So this is a door. It's upside down. I'm going to flip it around. You have your locking pin. That'd be your grab handle to open the door. And then here's your hinges. So you're literally going to take this hinge, put it here, this hinge, put it there, that handle there, and vice versa. It doesn't get any easier. These just come up, set to the side, bring this one over, flip it, set it right on there. Just drops right down in there. Okay, take this, you see this right here. Obviously it's going to feed right onto there. You can't mess this up. You can, but it's hard to do. Okay, pick it up, set it. See, the metal side is up, so you don't get confused. Don't set it down, do something else. Immediately transfer over to where it needs to go. Set it. This, just like so. Okay. Sometimes you got to manipulate it a little bit. Okay, now for the door hinge, it sits in there. As you can see, there's a little plastic right here that kind of comes up. So this is pretty snug for the most part. This just slides right out. No big deal. When you come over here, as you can see, there's a little slot for it to fit into. Boom. Now obviously you want to make sure that your holes all line up. Okay, now we're going to put the door front back on. So what I like to do is I'll just take the glass. I'll set the glass down in there. It sits right into all these. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Grab this bad boy. And it's just going to go down right on top. Okay. I'm gonna set my phone down real quick because we're gonna want to feed this in right, and you just kind of go around, just give it a nice little, you're just gonna go around and just put a little bit of pressure, tighten it down. Okay, as such. Okay, then you're literally, so I set my screws up. All right, pretty simple. Okay, what did we forget? What did we forget? Nothing. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start tightening up our screws. Let's get this door put on so we get this client to dry and close. Okay, so I'm going to set this down, pause it. I'm going to tighten this down just because I don't want any stripping here. I'll be right back. All right, so I got all the screws tightened back down in the door. So on this door pin, okay, right, there was a sticker, okay? Before you transferred it over from here to here, there's a sticker. You got to take that sticker off because that's what's going to conceal these holes over here. If you lose the sticker, it's not that big of a deal. It's going to be hidden behind, okay? So that door is built. Just check it out. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Hinges move freely. Perfect. Screws are done on all 5 points. Now we're going to put this back on the dryer. All right, so we're back in the dryer room. Set my door down for a second. Comes those plastic parts that we saved from earlier. This one came from here. It's just going to go to the other side. Okay, pretty simple. Just plug it in. Good to go. Grab these other ones. This is just to conceal. Put it, as you can see, put it into the holes. Make sure that little notch is always at the bottom. Otherwise, it's not going to go, right? Because you got this little part here that's going to kind of lock into the hole there. All right. So it's not the easiest with one hand, and I don't want to break it. Perfect. Okay. So like I said earlier, this door hangs in these holes right here, right? And it just kind of, the screw sits down in there. It's kind of neat that they did that for us. And it just sits in there so you don't have to sit there and hold the door. So I'm going to do this with one hand. Okay. Boom. Make sure it's in there. We're good. Okay. So door sits in there pretty good. I like it. Now we're just going to grab our bolts. We got our 4 bolts to the door. Like I said, I like to use a socket. Eliminates any stripping, and it kind of holds the bolt in for me. And when I'm doing videos, it helps where I can actually keep a hand free. Okay, so just line it up. I like to do one there on the bottom hinge. I'll do one on the top hinge. Boom. Okay, last one. And then we're done, baby. And this client can go ahead and start drying their clothes. Before we bring the customer in, we want to just check it. Everything looks good. We're good. We just want to do one last test. Turn it on. Just run a cycle. She's on. So that's it. It's pretty simple. Long video. Took me no more than 13 minutes to knock out this one door. Wipe down if you're doing, a client's. If you're doing your own, it is what it is. If you're doing a client's, wipe down the whole thing. Make it look good. Leave as little of a footprint as you can inside your client's home. Makes them happy. Take all trash, roll out. All right. Other than that, this is my video on how to swap doors and hardware on a Samsung Moisture Sensor SmartThings dryer. Anyways, give this a thumbs up, give it a like, a share, follow. More to come.